Namaskar, you are listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz, a podcast series brought to you by Media for Community Foundation, supported by National Council for Science and Technology Communication. On Vigyan Ki Awaaz, we bring you the latest innovations in science and technology from around the globe. We also get you the latest from Indian labs working relentlessly to improve your quality of life. Today's Science Update. Union Minister for Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh inaugurates second SCO Young Scientist Conclave in Bengaluru. Union Minister for State Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh said that the growth of SCO depends on its success in science, technology and innovation sectors, and there is a need to transform this landscape.
Excellency Mr. Zhang Ming, Secretary General SCO, my friends from SCO countries representing Ministry of Science, Technology, Innovation, officials, experts, scientists from India, dear young scientists from SCO countries, Namaste and greetings from India. First of all, I congratulate all the young scientists who have got the unique opportunity to participate in this second SCO Young Scientist Conclave, and for that, I must also thank all the SCO member states for their support, cooperation, and nominating the candidates for this event. SCO, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, brings together the colorful and distinctive cultures of Central and South Asia, and it promotes mutual assistance and team spirit. SCO consists of approximately as much as 42% of the world's population, which is a sizable amount, 22% of its land area, and it contributes 20% to the global GDP. SCO countries have a demographic advantage of having a large number of young population. Friends, India Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi had at the 19th meeting of Council of Heads of State of SCO coined an acronym, and the acronym was HEALTH, health, and that stands for H, healthcare cooperation, E, economic cooperation, A, alternate energy, L, literature and culture, T, terrorism-free society, and H, humanitarian cooperation. As you are all aware, the COVID-19 pandemic continues exerting a serious negative influence on people's lives, health and well-being in all the countries across the world. And therefore, the SCO member states must strengthen cooperation in preventing and countering the spread of infectious diseases to remove the threat of epidemics in the SCO space. And here comes the role of innovators, young researchers, and young scientists to develop innovative and affordable solutions for this. Food security, ladies and gentlemen, is another major area of concern for SCO economies, as it counts for a combined population of over 3 billion people. Technology will play a critical role in enhancing both the quality as well as quantity across the agriculture value chain, from the use of inputs at the pre-production stage to the post-production and marketing to improve the income of farmers. Leveraging the SCO scientific talents in this endeavor will certainly add a great value. Further, the environment degradation has been a cause of concern in all the SCO space countries for a long time now, especially in the Central Asian region. And therefore, the preservation of the natural environment, the ecosystems, and the biodiversity in the context of the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, is extremely important. Providing every person with accessible, reliable, and sustainable modern energy sources is one of the major goals in the UN Sustainable Development Agenda until year 2030. And therefore, we must boost science and technology cooperation on energy innovations based on the principle of technology neutrality. And therefore, we encourage the development and use of various clean and low carbon technologies in the energy sector, including the clean and highly efficient use of fossil fuels in the energy transition process.
IIT Mandi researchers develop a new radar invisible technology. According to media reports, IIT Mandi researchers have created a material that makes sleek vehicles and convert establishments less visible to radar. It is capable of absorbing a wide range of radar frequencies regardless of direction from which the radar signals is coming. It can also be used for hiding sleek vehicles and convert establishments from radar by covering their windows or glass panels. Scientists discover new type of ice. It neither sinks nor floats. Scientists from University of Cambridge have discovered ice resembling liquid water more closely than any other known ice. It neither sinks nor floats. UCL News in a thread of tweets shared the process of creation of this new type of ice. Researchers at University College London and University of Cambridge have stated that this may change the understanding of water and its anomalies. To create this type of ice, the team used a process called ball milling. They strongly shook ordinary ice together with steel balls in a jar cooled to minus 200 degrees centigrades. This is how new amorphous ice was created. The ice has the same density as liquid water. Now it's time for an amplifier. In Amplifier, we showcase the work, research and innovations of CSIR, ICAR and their dynamic national laboratories, famous for cutting-edge research and development knowledge based in diverse science and technology areas. Also, you meet personalities who are enhancing the quality of life of the citizens of India through their innovation and research in field of science and technology. Scientists who are developing sustainable solutions and capacity building to fulfill dreams of all Indians. In Vigyan Ki Awaaz, our today's guest is Dr. Deepak Datta. Dr. Deepak Datta is Principal Scientist and Head of Cancer Biology Division at CSIR CDRI, Lucknow.
Thank you very much for inviting me. So actually, myself, Deepak Datta, working as a Senior Principal Scientist at CSIR CDRI and heading the Division of Cancer Biology. And in the lab, we have a 10-member, very well-needed team and trying to do our research and resolve societal problems, especially focusing on cancer. So basically, our research interest revolves around to understand the molecular mechanisms of triple-negative breast cancer metastasis. As you know, why we are interested in breast cancer, because breast cancer right now is frequency of breast cancer is right now very high among Indian women, and the breast cancer itself has multiple subtypes, and triple negative breast cancer is one of the subtypes, and in India is known to be the TNBC capital of the world due to its highest incidence. And not only highest incidence, it is the deadliest among all breast cancer subtypes. If you look around why we are so prone to TNBC, because our lifestyle, poverty, obesity, family history, and some gene mutations like BRCA1 actually play a major role for higher frequency of TNBC in Indian context. So it is very aggressive disease, and there is a huge unmet need for this triple negative breast cancer, as it metastasizes very fast to the secondary organ. And most importantly, there is no targeted therapy for this subsector of breast cancer. As you can see from its name, like triple negative breast cancer, the breast cancer therapy is actually revolves around anti-hormone therapy, especially the estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, and HER2 receptor antagonists are used as a common breast cancer therapy. But as it lacks, TNBC lacks all of the receptors for the hormones, so all the existing anti-hormone therapies do not work here. So there is no targeted therapy so far. So we try to discover the targeted therapies for this subsector of breast cancer, especially the triple negative breast cancer. And our research area revolves around that, and our team is also interested in this direction. That is about our current lab problem. Yes.
Okay. So if you can just tell our listeners in a more, let's say, simpler way, that how this cancer is different from the most common current breast cancers which is there in society right now.
So if you consider breast cancer as a whole, there are multiple subtypes in the breast cancer, and breast cancer can be categorized into based on the presence of estrogen receptor, like progesterone receptor and HER2 receptor. So based on that, when clinicians categorize in the breast cancer subtypes, they apply the treatment regimen accordingly. But tamoxifen is a common anti-hormone therapy what we use for most of the breast cancers, those who are hormone receptor positive, especially the ER-positive breast cancers. But when we consider triple negative breast cancer, as I mentioned earlier, it actually completely lacks expression of presence of all three receptors. So if you even treat these patients with anti-hormone therapy, they don't respond. So the chemotherapeutic drug for other cancers, what have been used, is the only options to treat this TNBC subtype. And there is no specificity for this chemotherapy, and it creates huge toxicity and off-target effect to the patients. Although cure is far distant away for this TNBC category. So if you focus about solid tumors, so far our understanding is, when solid tumor progresses, it actually changes when it grows, actually the potential of tumoriging potential changes. And even, it changes when you apply therapy. That's why you see therapy resistance and finally relapse of the tumor. What we used to always see, surgery and then chemotherapy, and patient is doing fine for 2 years, and then again a tumor relapses, maybe in the other sites or maybe in the same site or other sites maybe, and then the relapsed tumor, even deadly in that sense. So what we actually in clinics, what we see, like, some remaining cells or resistant cells, if it lives in the body even after surgery or multiple rounds of chemotherapy, that actually, eventually it will again develop tumors in more deadly way, more resistant way, and kill the patients. So that's why we always evolve around or focus around mainly not to the growth of the primary tumors. Our lab is trying to understand how primary tumors spread to the secondary organs. And if you can really block the spread of those tumors, the heterogeneous primary tumors, because not all the cells goes to the secondary organ, Some very selective cells, highly potent cells, go to the secondary organs and create a secondary metastasis. If we can block that pathway, especially the movement of cells from primary tumor to secondary organ, so you can really, inhibit that process, and you can really conquer such type of cancers. In that regard, I would like to share one information. Recently, in last November 2022, we published a nice paper in Nature Communications where we showed, we discovered one mechanism for triple negative breast cancer metastasis to the secondary organ. And even that drug against that particular protein is H2, tasmetostat, which has been approved by the FDA against sarcoma. What our preclinical study suggests that if you use that FDA-approved tasmetostat or H2 inhibitor against TNBC, in future we may get good metastasis block in those patients. If it can be after clinical trials, it can be successful clinical trials, it can be tried with TNBC patients. This is a new targeted, our discovery suggests a new targeted therapy for TNBC. So that is our recent contribution, which was published in Nature Communications, which has good, very good translational value. What my suggestion to every woman in this in the context of breast cancer, they should examine very periodically and be very careful about any sort of lump in the breast. And in the very beginning, they should inform medical oncologist or clinician and consult them to prevent, late stage rejection, or actually to accelerate the early stage rejection of breast cancer as a whole, as well as triple negative breast cancer, so that it can be detected in the very lower grade and it can be treated properly, so that we can prevent the relapse and final death of the patients in most of the cases. Thank you. Thank you very much
for your time. Thank you so very much.
Now time for amazing science facts. Did you know that the chance of your fingerprint being the same as someone else's fingerprint is 1 in 64 billion? That's all for today. For any suggestions and feedback, do write to us at mediaforcommunity@gmail.com. This podcast has been produced by Ashish Tiwari.